Hi, welcome back. Ben here with Trident Fly Fishing with our final installment on how to choose a fly rod. And today, we're gonna cover everything else that we haven't already talked about. We've done a video on line weight, length, and action, which are the three most important characteristics for choosing your fly rod. And now we're gonna wrap it up with some of the other choices that maybe you need to consider that aren't part of those three key videos. The first thing I wanted to touch on is materials. Here in 2022, we've got a vast range of materials that fly rods are made out of. From graphite or carbon fiber, to fiberglass, to bamboo, and even higher tech materials like graphene and boron. So here's how to decide which of these materials is gonna be the best for you. Up first is graphite. Graphite is gonna be the most common and, generally speaking, the lightest weight of the main fly rod materials. If you're buying an off-the-shelf rod and you grab it, it's probably gonna be made out of graphite. And graphite is a fantastic material for fly rods. It's gonna give you a great deal of versatility and incredibly high performance. On the opposite end of that spectrum is gonna be bamboo. Now, bamboo is what fly rods used to be made of 150 years ago. It's a classic choice, and realistically speaking, if you're watching this video, you probably don't want a bamboo rod. Bamboo rods are extremely expensive, and even more expensive if you want a really great one. They're also sometimes difficult to find, and they require a lot of care and maintenance. But that said, if you're looking for that old school experience, bamboo is the only way to go. Bamboo is going to provide you with a fuller flex, albeit at a generally heavier weight than all of the other materials on this list, but it can be really fun to fish, especially for those smaller trout streams. This video is supported 100% by your purchases at Trident Fly Fishing. So if you're in the market for some new tackle, check us out at tridentflyfishing.com. Up next is fiberglass, which is sort of an in-between material from bamboo and graphite. In fact, in the timeline of fly fishing, fiberglass rods were the high-tech rods for quite a long time between bamboo and graphite. Fiberglass has some of the features of graphite in that it's a lot more durable, easier to use than bamboo is. It also has a fuller flex and doesn't give you that same accuracy and high performance that graphite and carbon fiber will. With that said, today's fiberglass rods, like this Orvis Superfine here, are a lot different than the fiberglass rods that were made 20 or 30 years ago. They're way lighter, and quite frankly, you're gonna get very nice performance out of these fiberglass rods. And there are a lot of situations, especially in smaller streams, where fiberglass is gonna be the right choice for you. Now, before we close out the materials section, I wanted to talk about graphene. Graphene is the next generation of carbon fiber. It's a much stronger material, and currently, it really exists only in resins. So graphene is being used to make those carbon fiber rods stronger and lighter. And we used graphene in our rod, the Atlas, just for that reason. It gives you higher performance at a lighter weight. Now, let's talk about rod prices. And essentially, you can break down fly rod pricing into three basic categories. Entry level, which is gonna be from $0 to about $300 or so, depending on the manufacturer, followed by the mid-range, which is gonna start at $300 and go up to about $700, again, depending on the manufacturer, and the high end, which is $700 on up. And at each of these price points, you're gonna get different things for your money. At the entry-level price point, you're gonna get a basic fly rod that works and is durable. You're probably not gonna find a wide range of lengths and line weights to choose from. And that's because these rods are targeted at beginners who primarily, like we started this series with, are gonna be interested in that 9'5" weight, 9'8" weight type of rod, and with good reason, like we've already covered. Stepping up to a mid-range rod, you're gonna find a lot more options. you're gonna find better performance and lighter weight specifically than you would at the entry-level price point. And especially in recent years, we've seen a lot of really great rods, from the Atlas to the Sage Sonic, come out that are designed to be both budget-friendly yet high performance. Still, in the mid-range, while you've got more options than an entry-level rod, you're not gonna find those in-between 9.5 foot type rods that you're gonna find at the high end, generally speaking. When I started Trident 10 years ago, there weren't a lot of great mid-range options. But today, manufacturers have come out with some fantastic rods for you to choose from, and it's really a great and very viable option if you don't want to splurge for a high-end rod. And last but not least is high-end, which of course, everything is going to be about performance. You're gonna find the lightest weight rods with the most options, and pretty much anything you can think of, you can get for that $700 plus price point. And of course, that high-end price point is probably gonna be best for the slightly more experienced angler, because if you're just getting started, you're probably not gonna appreciate things like high-end guides and super light weights that you're gonna get with that high-end price point. And you're probably not gonna need that 9 3/4 foot 6 weight that you're gonna be able to get when you pay for that $700 plus rod. Now, to finish this series up, let's talk about some of the other things to think about, which are componentry, handles, and colors. And generally speaking, this is all gonna come down to personal preference. Throughout your fly fishing journey, you're gonna find grips that really fit your hand well and that you really like. Similarly, you might not wanna fish with a bright red, yellow rod. And that's okay. That's why they make so many different options out there. But once you dial in your key performance characteristics, you should be free to choose whatever you want. Make sure you pick a rod that you're gonna have fun with and that you're gonna like to look at every single day. I hope you enjoyed this series and that it helped you pick your first, your 5th, or your 50th fly rod. And of course, if there's something we didn't cover, or if you just wanna bounce ideas off of somebody, we've got a great staff of fly fishermen here at Trident that can help you do just that. So give us a call at 888-413-5211 or email us 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. We're here to help. I'm Ben, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.